to our final conversation for today, where we get to find out more about the organization called Caring for Corozal. And we're joined by two of the co-founders, Juan Chan and Patty Santos. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
How's the weather in Corozal this morning? Okay, so definitely looking forward to hearing about this initiative that you guys have undertaken. But before we get into that, let me just hear about how you came together to start this organization.
It was about 8 months ago. Juan and I were discussing the fact that we noticed there were some drivers, of course, all who break the speed limit and in the process run over and kill dogs in the road. And we had a personal experience in which we found a dog that had just been hit and killed, and we pulled her to the side of the road and covered her and called the police team to pick her body up. Mm-hmm. This was upsetting to us, very unsettling. And so then we started to say, what can we do to raise the consciousness of voters and make them aware that this is a hazard? Mm-hmm. And that's sort of how the whole project began. We decided that maybe we could erect some signs that looked not unlike pedestrian crossing signs, only they had pictures of animals on them that said things like, please slow down, let me cross, don't run over me, that kind of thing. And we sought permission from the mayor each time we located a spot where we felt it would be effective. Aww. And the mayor would do this, and he was always very willing to allow us to do this. So that's how it all kind of came together for us.
Yeah. What was the community's reaction? I mean, this is so unique to see a crossing sign for reminding us that the dogs may be passing through, and especially in Corozal, where even passing through the villages, it's a main thoroughfare. What's the reaction been?
I will tell you this. We, in the process of erecting one of the signs, an American lady was visiting Corozal, and she got out and took a picture of Juan and the other gentleman who were assisting him in erecting the sign. And she said, I've never seen anything like this, not in the States, not anywhere. And the people in Corozal have been extremely happy to see them.
Yeah. And that was, that's how the initiative started. But since the signs, you've also branched out into doing some other projects as well through Caring for Corozal. Can you tell us a little bit about those, Juan?
Well, again, we saw many hungry dogs around town. Some of them were seeking for fresh food and water. So we began to purchase, PVC pipes and elbow joints to form up these feeding stations. And as well, we contact our beloved friend, Vianney Bautista, who is a local artist from Corozal, who painted and, gave us the first feeding station for our broadcasting,
So how many of them have you set up so far? And you've done it in different parts of Corozal as well, right?
Yes, we have erected the first one in Corozal town, which is at Mama Lowe's, in front of the Central Park. We have erected one in Consejo Village, and we have erected one at the Philip Bates and Son storage unit. As for now, we have 3.
We also have one at a local car wash station called The Clean Getaway. And we had customers right away in many of these locations.
Clearly.
And it was kind of cute because they were waiting in line for us to get their food and water replenished so they could take advantage of it. So that really warmed our hearts.
This is such a cool initiative. You know, what has been the response of the businesses or the homes where you have put these feeders? Because naturally it means that the dogs or the cats will gravitate to that area. Have they been open to that idea?
Absolutely. Juan and I don't ever presume to erect a feeding station without first seeking permission from either private owners of homes. As you see in this picture, this is the private property of a gentleman who was very willing to let us do it. And the businesses that we have used for feeding stations have also been very amenable to having us do it. So, yes, they've been our saviors. They're the ones who have helped us to do this.
Who's providing the food for the feeders?
Well, in the beginning, Juan and I were providing everything because it was a project that we talked about and wanted to do, and a little organization which is charitable, not nonprofit or for-profit. It's just a charitable organization. So we were providing the stations and the food. And very interestingly, as people began to realize that it was we who were doing this, they came forward and said, how can we help? Can we offer donations? Can we offer food? And I think that surprised us both. And so we said, by all means, we're happy to take whatever donations you have, and we will be wise stewards over that money, and we have been.
And I imagine that, you know, it's the upkeep has also attracted, you know, what you call your customers, so that it has been a successful project so far.
Yes, we love the idea that we are putting together in our town, and we will also see, you know, if this can be done in other districts of Belize, which is very appealing to many people. And we also have our Facebook page, and many people commented to us, you know, on the Facebook page that they would want this brilliant idea to be done in San Pedro Island, in Orange Walk, Belize City, and you know, we are trying to do that for our community.
So does it sound like caring for Corozal might be growing a little bit?
Surprisingly, a lot more quickly than we ever thought. But that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. So when people call us and ask us, can we have one or could we help? We're so excited to do that. So, but it's keeping us busy. We committed that if we were going to put those stations up, we would need to check on them a minimum of twice a day.
Yeah. Because
it's the rainy season now, so we go by and make sure that the food is always dry, and it's always fresh, and everything is replenished. And so we will put them up as we know that we have the capability of taking care of them. For example, the one in Consejo Village is being managed by a generous donor to us, and she knows that that's kind of a long way for us to go twice a day. Yeah. So she's maintaining that one.
Let me ask, you know, as someone who loves dogs, I think that it's easy for me to understand why you'd be inclined to do this, but not everyone is as open-minded. How surprised are you by the reaction and the openness of the community in recognizing this particular need?
Well, I will say that both Juan and I have received more positive than negative, but there are a few haters out there, and they think that we're promoting disease or we're making a bad situation worse. But our response to that is part of the ongoing efforts of caring for Corozal will be to teach pet owners in the community how to be responsible for their animals, because yes, in a way this is a Band-Aid, and yes, there are people who really resent the fact that we're doing this because they think we're worsening an already poor situation. But we can't go home at night seeing what we see on the road every day and close the door and say, gee, that's too bad about those animals.
Yeah.
We need to do something about it. And we will continue to try to teach people about the need to,
Yeah.
I mean, if just male dogs were neutered, they wouldn't be running around crossing with female dogs and then creating another litter of unwanted puppies or kitties. So
Yeah.
teaching is a very important part of what we plan to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we saw the feeders and the work that you guys were doing, and we really wanted to know more about the people behind it. And I appreciate what you said, that we could help people understand that this is a start, one, that these animals are humanely treated, and then move to the next phase where you can educate more about proper pet care.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for the invitation. We were not expecting it, and we certainly appreciate the fact that you called us yesterday. So we're grateful to you as well.
All right. Well, you guys take care and keep up the good work.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.